Okay. Welcome to my presentation about MurGame, playful debris flow simulation. I'm Ralf. I'm game designer and co-founder at Koboldgames, where I develop serious game. Besides that, I'm teaching game design and game production at several university or schools. But here today, I'm on behalf of Koboldgames, and we create serious games to different topics specialized for research departments of universities or the private sector. Today's talk is about the MurGame. So where it all began, or where is the problem, basically? The problem is about mudslides. Mudslides, we have a lot of them in the Alpine regions of Switzerland. They consist of mud and debris, and you see on the image of the Ilgraben near Leuk an example. These really big stones, this is a force of nature. These gangs, they are several meters big, and if they hit hard. And therefore, if they hit populated areas, there is really a lot of infrastructural damage and even sometimes casualties. The image you see here is about the mudslide at Bondo in August 2017, where the big populated park got hit by a huge mudslide. So what do we target? What can we do about it? So our targeted issues with our game are awareness for the risks, so that people know where are the risks, what can happen, how does this look like? And the other part is the awareness for countermeasures. What can we do against it? And how do we approach this topic? So we made a game. It's a sandbox game called MurGame, where the player goes through several phases. The first phase is the building phase. So you populate the area, you build a village, you build church, school, and stuff like that. The second part is you build countermeasures, like you see the dam in the image here, or warning systems and stuff like that. And if you think, okay, I have a village, let's test it, you simulate a mudslide, and you see that coming down animated, and it hits certain things, and you see like where we built the dam, we are pretty safe up there. And in the end, after you watched it, you get a report with a lot of information, and then you can start over again. And it's really a sandbox game. You can change your village, simulate again, and learn by doing that. What are the problems? What can we do? And there's a lot of topics around that within the game. So at this point, I'd like to address certain key decisions during the development or creative process of the game that the game really benefited from. So I think that's key decisions that make the success of the game like it is. So one part is the realistic data simulation. We got the opportunity to use the software RAMS. So it's software that's developed from the Swiss Avalanche Research Institute. And they had a modification also for mudslides, not only for avalanches. So we could use really the simulation on our geological area. You see a height map of an export of the simulation, one example frame where we see how high is at this exact time the MurGame at certain, the mudslide at certain positions. So this data accuracy really generated cool looking simulations that look realistic or authentic. The second part is the economy model to calculate the economic basically of your countermeasures and the villages. So we use the model economy Swiss that's used by federal agencies or also by a lot of insurance companies throughout Switzerland. So we have also on that part used the existing system that is well known, and you can correlate in with that. The two other parts are more in the gameplay area. So one decision is to make it sandbox gameplay so that you can experiment, you can explore all around the game. So that's easy, repeatably can go back, change things, and look how it works. That was really great benefit. So you can build the bridge in the middle and see, oh, with the bridge there, the form of the mudslide changes a lot because it gets stuck on the bridge, and then you have a lot wider angle of the debris afterwards, and then you can build the high bridge where more goes under it, and so you can experiment and always look at your different villages and how does this pan out. And the fourth point here is about adding happiness as a third core value. So basically, first it was all about the damage and the cost of building. So it was kind of quite easy to find an optimal solution. And so we added the third core value for gameplay purposes to balance. So there you also have people are really happy if you build the bridge and connect the two parts of the village. They don't have to go all around on the big street down in the valley. But the bridge is kind of really dangerous for the mudslide. And also the camping place you can have at the river, it's really great for the people around, but you will find out soon enough that it's really difficult to protect a camping grounds near a river in a dangerous area. So these key decisions while developing, I think, went well. So for the results and the outlook, so we had great feedback at the Swissbau in 2020. We could let a lot of experts in the area of natural hazards play the game on a big touch screen, and it was really interesting to see people where we can go with the simulation as well for water problems or also other parts. So it was really great also for us to see how people use this tool or this game. Then we raised funding for an upgrade where we could improve the game on loading times, smoother loading times, smoother visuals, more information in it, so we could upgrade this. So this in meantime we are at this upgrade. We have the funding for this iteration, and in summer a new version will come out. And also we could add a part for education where we have additional materials. So this will also be made in summer. So the project goes on in that area, and we are happy that the interest is there to make it bigger and better. To sum it up, the goal was to develop an attractive game to promote awareness and prevention of damage due to natural hazards. And we used here an example of mudslides. The target group is basically exhibition visitors when Naturgefahren exhibitions or stuff like that happens, and also interested individual. The game is free online available on MurGame.ch. Playtime is around 10 to 15 minutes for one playthrough to learn all the basics and to experiment with it. At this point, I would also give my thanks to the funding parties like the Präventionsstiftung der kantonalen Gebäudeversicherungen, die Mobiliarversicherung, and the Federal Office for Natural for the Environment. And also our co-developers like Geo7, who was really important for the knowledge about, expert knowledge about the mudslides and the geological data, and the Swiss Avalanche Research Institute for their part of the RAM simulation. And also thank you to Yasmin with her great help for the paper, and thank you to you for listening, and I'm free to answer questions now. Please.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Any questions in the audience? Okay, I have one first question, and it's technical questions. First, what is the technically what is the technology you use to build this application? And also, I was wondering when I read the paper, your simulation are made on 3D models or 2D models?
So the first part, it's basic. There are two parts. Kind of the one technological part is the RAMs, the simulation software. That happens beforehand. We simulate all the over 1,000 variants of the mudslides that are possible with the game. And I can answer the second question there. It's basically it's an image. It's 2D, but with height information in it. So the colors of the height map. If we go back, you see here, how you see the scale of meters on the right side, which pixel color is what. So we get for every second of the mudslide, we get an image with the exact information. That's the part of the simulation part. And for the visualization part, the game part, we used Unity 3D, and it's a WebGL game used. You can play online. So that's the technology we use there.
Thank you. Any questions?
Just one question. How many village, or how you can configure specific village, a specific place? Because that would be the most interesting of this game. Is that so to have something real that people can say, okay, my village is not, I play the game and I see that I can improve certain side of a bridge or whatever, or road. So can you specifically design a village, or it's just a village that you can play and that's it?
Okay, so the question is how flexibility we have.
I understand it. Okay.
Yeah, but I have to repeat for the YouTube channel. So no problem. Thank you. So the question is how flexibility we have to model the village and to create something flexible for the user, or are there some predefined village in the game?
It's predefined areas where you can build. So you're not told, you see this in the image you see here, these zones where you can build. So basically, this is kind of limited to limit the simulations. We try to be below 1,000 simulations. So there are certain area which you can build big or small buildings. And so within the game at the moment, there is one area, specific area with this building purposes on two sides of the river. The technology basically supports any village you can load in, but within the game that is accessible now due to the data amount, we have just one area, but around 1,000 possibilities to build the village.
Thank you very much. It was very nice to hear you.
Thank you also.
Okay, bye-bye.